just want you to start thinking about it. For you, when you hear word Tantra, and where are you at right now, what is it? What comes to your mind? Actually, share with your partner. Just say it out loud. No need to unmute. What words come to you? I don't need to hear. I want you to share with each other. What words come to your mind when you hear Tantra? And maybe what words you used to hear in your mind when you first heard this word, Tantra. So when we do this, when I post this question in my workshops, introductory workshops, there's a lot of different answers and funny answers. And then when we start this conversation, eventually it comes to these basic things that when, for the most people who heard something, read something, word Tantra is associated with the word spirituality, energy, feminine, masculine polarity, yes, sexuality, yoga as a union, body, mind, spirit union, and as an art of loving. So the transcription from the word Tantra, the transcription from Sanskrit, one of the transcription means instrument or tool for expansion. They do say that there is another meaning, which is actually weaving together. So it's both expansion and connection, which is quite interesting and completely true. If you look at the dictionary, what you will see is that Tantra is an esoteric yogic tradition that developed in the Indian subcontinent from the middle of the first millennium in both Hinduism and Buddhism. So that is also true. As a tradition, as a practice, and let me see. Yep. So we look, as an intimacy coach, coming from a tantric perspective, I see Tantra as the ultimate holistic approach, as approach to sexuality, and of course we're talking about Neo-Tantra, that brings it all together, brings physicality together with spirituality, emotional connection and passion. And I believe I mentioned it before, but I always talk about it during the workshops, how my first, the story that got me very interested in Tantra was that this set of practices, and I was told by one of the Tantra teachers I studied with, that Tantra was created to sustain both passion and emotional connection in traditional marriages. So some part of this tradition was focused on sustaining romantic relationships, sustaining sexual and emotional relationship. And it sounds to me like magic. It does. It still sounds to me like in a good way, like magic in a good way, something that can be achieved and practiced and learned by everyone. Another question that I want you to ask each other. So we are diving in, right? Slowly diving in. Today it will be mostly about practice, but I want to set the stage for that. So look at each other and just quickly share what comes to your mind when you hear word energy. For you, the word energy, what does it mean? What is it? What comes to mind first? So those are the qualities of energy that we want to embrace when we are practicing Tantra in this form, in this form. So we want to be aware of intensity, how strong it is. Even here in this circle, in this class, we started and ended with saying, okay, my energy level is this and this. And very often we start with a certain level and then it goes down or it goes up, but it's not necessarily a good or bad thing, right? It depends on the quality of the energy, right? The energy can be high and that might mean that we are anxious, or energy can be high and that might mean that we are energized. So intensity, quality, direction, so which way the energy go, and the place in the body. Those are basic ways we look at energy in Tantric approach, where in the that's what we use in our toolbox in a way, right? That's how we look at it. And this is a very short introduction. I do have a video where I talk about these things for longer. We also talk about those things during the workshop, and there are a lot of resources. But again, this is my way to create a foundation for you for practices today. Intensity, quality, direction, and place in the body. How many of you are aware of chakras, the energetic centers? List some, right? So place in the body, important according to chakra system. Each chakra or energy center has a place in the body. And do I have it? Has a place in the body. And that's why energetic touch with awareness, conscious touch can be so incredibly effective, impactful, especially if we are aware, again, of intensity, quality, direction, who is a giver, who is a receiver, and where we place our hands, right? Another big topic that we play with in this Tantric approach is energetic polarity, and it also has to do with the energy, right? And with, let me see, yes, I have it. Another question to you: when you think about or hear about feminine energy versus masculine energy, and I have a hint here already, yin and yang, right? What comes to your mind? What adjectives, what descriptions come to your mind? What is it feminine energy, or what is it masculine energy, right? If you look at this picture before, right, this Shiva and Shakti, the belief in Tantra is that we have both energies in our bodies. Doesn't matter what gender we are. And yet when we come together, it does matter which partner has more of one of them. It's very rare when we have a complete balance. There is also a way to bring up one of them in order to create this polarity. So how do they describe this feminine energy, for example? In Tantric texts, in books, in practices, feminine energy in the body described as cool, watery, slow, inward or introverted, wide focused, receptive, creative, and it's associated with feelings and emotions. Now, right, everyone has this part, and sometimes men have this more of this, right? So it's not necessarily gender related, but that's how it's described. And the masculine or yang energy is described as fast, focused, projective or outgoing, extroverted, goal-oriented, action-oriented. It's doing it. It's an energy of doing versus being. It represents itself in planning and in creating structures. So why do we want to know it? Why is it relevant to intimacy? Why is it relevant to sex? Again, according to Tantra, when two lovers come together, polarity is crucial. We want and need to create the flow where one of us is more in their yin and another one is more than a yang. And without understanding what is it we're talking about, right? We can't create it. And it's a choice. It's a choice. Also, they do believe that when it comes to sexuality, not necessarily life, but when it comes to sexuality, being in a body, female genitals have a quality of feminine, of yin. Therefore, it is very important for women who wants to have a connection in a tantric way, at least, right? To learn how to embrace that, how to become more soft, receptive, slow, and so on, right? And vice versa. So chakra system is an amazing and sometimes very complex topic. There are books on that. We definitely not go in there right now, but this is a quick reminder, and this is kind of a scary picture, right? But it just represents a lot. There are so many conversations. So each chakra has a name associated with the organs. Right, it has, you can see directions on this last picture, right? So there is different direction that energy is going. And I prefer this, just to simplify. So we're just choosing the level, and we know approximately what are we focusing now on. And there are 7 main chakras. One of them, the crown chakra, is the only chakra that above the body, but everything else is on your body. So for example, this third eye, if you put a hand on your forehead, there is a certain sense. There is certain sense, and most people, when they do that, they feel sort of a relaxation and want to close their eyes, right? It's obviously individual, right? But the same thing with other areas, the throat, the heart, solar plexus, lower belly or cup in your genitals. And the root chakra is also another chakra that doesn't have the back and front, like those are kind of through, but if we sit on our palm, that would be touching your base chakra or root chakra. So it's a perineum and anus. And if you put your head at the top of on the top of your head, that would be touching, right? Kind of the opening toward the crown chakra, that area of your head that remains soft and open for babies, right? When we just born, this is the area that almost like remains open for a while to the universe, if you will. So knowing, having this awareness can make a huge difference on how we touch our own bodies and how we touch our partner. The Tantra in its more advanced form can be an incredible healing modality. Touch can be tremendously healing if we bring a certain energy, bring a certain intention, intensity and awareness, right? And knowing the chakra centers in this kind of a very grounded way, in a simplistic way, it helps. So what are the tantric tools for conscious connection? Tools, something specific, something that we can use. What helps to create, to support and deepen our energetic, physical, and emotional connection? Let me see. Yeah. So those are the main thing that we want to focus on when creating these experiences at home. And I'll go through it. It's not a very long thing, but it helps again to know what are we doing and why. First is an environment. We cannot just skip it. No way. Being in your body, feeling with all the senses, it's crucial. So for couples who live together or don't live together, right? Well, if you don't live together, there is some benefits of kind of feeling special when you come together, right? It always feels special. When you create a date, it feels special. But I believe it even becoming even more important and to have a habit of creating these moments when you live together. We forget so quickly how it affects us. If we how creating the right environment affects us. So how do we create it? By becoming aware of what is it that I like. I missed the word like here. What do I like to smell? What do I like to hear? What do I like to see, to taste, to feel on my skin? Basically what we did at the beginning of this session, right? It doesn't have to be something long and complex, but throwing a few things together, creating a smell, creating a sound, every time you start, every time before intimacy, or at least this type of intimacy, every time before having a conversation, shifts the energy. The next one is a positioning. What kind of position? What are we looking for? Where are my hands? Where are my eyes? And the front of my body. That's where we start, right? When I guide you through these conversations, and I am about to start guiding you with this first tantric meditation, that's what we are looking for. Environment already there, positioning. There are classic tantric positionings that some of you know. The next one is breath, awareness of a breath, but also different type of breath. Harmonizing, inhaling together, exhaling together. Circular or reciprocal breathing. Inhaling while your partner is exhaling, exhaling while your partner is inhaling. Two different types that create different things. Sound is very important, and by sound we mean what do you hear, but also the sound that we're making. And sometimes the chanting, right? What we chant on that activate different chakra centers, different energy centers. Visualization is another tool, and visualization can be created by thinking of certain things or literally imagining energy moving through your body, and everyone has different capacities for visualization. More advanced tool, bandhas, which means the internal squeezes, yogic tool, and mudras, just putting your body or hands in a certain position so the energy can flow. And absolutely touch, right? So I know this is very quick review, and the intention is to bring it all together. So let's do it. Let's see how it works, and then we can revisit, and then we can go deeper in one of them.